E.N.D. here. We're going to talk again about Magic Arena and more specifically about the historic format. But most importantly, we're going to talk about the cards that will make or will be added into the historic format, and more importantly, we're going to discuss if these cards will be part of the reserved list. Before going into a little bit of details, let's first have a little bit of history about the historic format. Wizards of the Coast have announced that there will be this particular format, the historic format. The intention of the historic format is that cards from sets that they are rotating out of standard can be used on Magic Arena. You have to remember that there are a lot of players that have spent money in acquiring packs of these sets. We're talking about Ixalan, Rivals of Ixalan, Dominaria and Core Set 2019. I'm sure there are a lot of you that have spent money to buy these particular packs, and therefore those cards are not lost and they can be played in this historical format. That will be a format with all the cards available in Magic Arena. They have announced this historical format, and in November 2019 the format will be live in Magic Arena. And the thing that really grumbled a lot of players was the crafting of the historic cards that was 2:1. That means that you needed 2 wild cards to get 1 historical card. A lot of players complained, and Wizards of the Coast, in my opinion, they did a very intelligent move. They listened to us, the players, and came up with an update of changes. And the most important thing was that the redemption of wildcards will be 1:1 instead of 2:1. That means that you need 1 mythic or 1 rare or 1 common or uncommon to craft a mythic, a rare, a common or uncommon historic card. That means that from November 2019, these new historic cards will be added in Magic the Gathering Arena. They are going to target certain decks in Magic Arena, and they are going to add cards that fit perfectly in those decks. But in the long run, can Wizards of the Coast issue or reprint cards from the reserve list? The reserve list is a list of cards from very old sets that they promised, Wizards of the Coast promised, that they will never reprint these cards. Therefore, can these cards, the reserve list cards, be added in Magic Arena as a historic card? Because the term reprint, now here I have to do a little bit of a disclaimer. I never studied law, I don't work in law, my work line is different from law. Therefore, I don't have any background in law for my opinion or for my analysis, but the term reprint, in my opinion, is referring to paper print. And therefore, issuing a card from the reserve list in an interactive platform like Magic Arena, I don't think they will break the reserve list promise. Therefore, I wouldn't be surprised if cards from the Power 9 will feature on Magic Arena. Even though these cards will be overpowered for Magic Arena, but there's nothing that will stop Wizards of the Coast in issuing these type of cards in an interactive environment like Magic Arena. The reserve list, it's a promise that the card will never be reprinted, and reprinted, I believe, is telling us paper reprint and not interactively. Therefore, in my opinion, Wizards of the Coast can issue historic cards from the reserve list. And this already happened. Vintage Masters is a Magic Online set These cards could be bought on Magic Online. Magic Online is another interactive online platform by Wizards of the Coast for Magic the Gathering. On Magic Online you can play the other formats, you can play Vintage, you can play Modern, and on that particular platform Wizards of the Coast issued these particular boosters. They're called Vintage Masters, where people could buy these packs and they could find cards like the Black Lotus. This is the card from the Black Lotus from Vintage Masters. This is not a physical reprint, this is a digital reprint of the card. It is a digital issue of the card, not a physical cardboard reprint of the card. The reserve list, it's a promise that the card will not be physically reprinted on cardboard again by Wizards of the Coast. And therefore, issuing these type of cards, like the Black Lotus, like Mox Pearl, like Lion's Eye Diamond, all these cards feature in Vintage Masters. There are a lot of other cards. I just picked 3 out of a list of Vintage Master sets. There are the Power 9, there is the Black Lotus, there are the Moxes. All the good cards are in this set and they have been issued on Magic Online. Therefore, as I said, I wouldn't be surprised if Wizards of the Coast, for the historic card, in the future, I don't think that in November they will issue a Black Lotus in Magic Arena. In the future, in the long run, they will issue a Vintage Masters for Magic Arena. Maybe they will call it Historic Masters. You can leave me a comment below if you agree with me, if you think that Wizards of the Coast will issue cards from the reserve list in Magic Arena, if you think that issuing a card in Magic Arena from the reserve list does not break the promise. And here, there's always my subscription button. Subscribe for my channel for more interesting videos about Magic the Gathering and the collectible world.